Hey, what's up, everybody? So, from today, we are going to start narration. In this series of video, you will know how to deal with the questions from this topic, where you will be able to do or you will be able to convert a sentence given in direct into indirect and vice versa. Okay, anyway, you guys, some of you guys might know what is direct speech and indirect speech, or some of you are just starting this topic. So what I will do is I will give you a glimpse of the definition, or I will just try to make you understand what is direct and what is indirect speech. Okay, let's get started with some examples. Here I have taken two sentences. Ram said Hari is an ideal boy, and Ram said that Hari was an ideal boy. I am pointing this sentence because you have to look very carefully into this sentence. Just look. Ram said Hari is an ideal boy. Ram said that Hari was an ideal boy. So let's take the first example. I will just explain you about the first example. Just look into this. Ram said Hari is an ideal boy. Here we give the exact words used by the speaker. This is called direct speech or narration. So whenever in a sentence, if I say or if I give the exact words that is used by the speaker, then that particular sentence will be said to be as indirect speech. Just see here. Ram said Hari is an ideal boy. So Ram said Hari is an ideal boy. Ram said Hari is an ideal boy. So here I have given the exact word that is used by the speaker. So here I have written, here we give the exact words used by the speaker. This is called direct speech. Okay, I think it's very clear to you. So whenever in a sentence I give the exact word that is used by the speaker, then we will call that sentence to be in direct speech. Okay, let's see the another sentence. Ram said Hari was an ideal boy. Ram said Hari was an ideal boy. I have said the exact thing, but I have not given the words that were being used by the speaker. Yes or no? Here we do not give the exact words of the speaker, but give only the substance. But give only the substance of what he said. This is called indirect speech. That means in the sentence we have not given the exact words that is being used by the speaker, but we have given the substance, that is the feel or the meaning of that words that were being speak by the speaker. Yes or no? We have given the same thing, but not exactly the words that were being used by the speaker. Okay, so this type of sentences are called indirect speech. I hope it is clear very much. Okay, let's revise once. So in the first sentence we have given the exact words used by the speaker, exact word. But in case of indirect speech, we do not give the exact words of the speaker, but give only the substance of what he said. Okay, is it clear? Okay, now let's move. Rules for changing direct speech into indirect speech. So now if a sentence is given in direct speech, how will you convert that particular sentence into indirect speech? So I have made some rules. I think there will be 7 to 8 rules where you will get all the things, all the tips and tricks, how will you convert a sentence from direct to indirect. Okay, before doing this, let us recognize this one. Ram said Hari is an ideal boy. So this is a direct speech. So we are clear with this because here we have given the exact word that is being used by the speaker. Now see the difference in the direct speech and indirect speech sentence. In the direct speech, this is our direct, this is direct, and this is indirect. So in the direct speech, you can see that Ram said Hari is an ideal boy. The exact word that is being used by the speaker is given in some inverted commas. Yes or no? It is put inside an inverted commas. But here Ram said that Hari was an ideal boy. Here we don't have any inverted commas. It is exactly a statement or a declarative sentence. Yes or no? So now here in the indirect speech or in the direct speech, if you see Ram said, this said is said to be as a reporting verb. Reporting verb. So this is said to be as reporting verb. Ram said. Said is said to be as reporting verb, and the sentence which is being said by the speaker, the sentences which are inside the inverted commas are said to be as reported speech. These sentences are said to be as reported speech. Reported speech. So these are said to be as reported speech. Remember this. Ram said. Said is reporting verb, and the exact word that is inside the inverted commas are said to be as a reported speech. I hope it is clear. Okay, you need to remember this. And you might have been seeing the differences that whenever you are writing a sentence in direct speech, you are putting that exact word used by the speaker in an inverted commas, inside the inverted commas, and in case of indirect speech you are not doing that. Okay, so these are the thing you have to remember while writing a sentence in indirect speech. Now let's see rules for changing direct speech into indirect speech. Let's see the first rule. The first rule says that if the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. Remember this. If the reporting verb is in present or future tense, then the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. This is the first rule. That means if you remember which one is the reporting verb, this is our reporting verb, says. So this is in present tense, yes or no? See, if the reporting verb is in present or future tense, the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. First of all, let us understand what is reporting verb. So reporting verb, we have underlined this, says. Now since it is in present tense, we know now. So the reported speech is the word which are inside the inverted commas. This is called reported speech. Yes or no? Tom says there is no ink in the ink pot. So this in this sentence, the reporting verb is in present tense, and the reported speech, we have just identified this. So whenever a sentence is given in this form, in this type, then the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. Okay, that means just see here the indirect speech of this sentence is Tom says that there is no ink in the ink pot. So this is the direct speech. This is the direct speech, and this is the indirect speech of that sentence. Tom says there is no ink in the ink pot. Tom says that there is no ink in the ink pot. That means in the indirect speech, what I have done is I have just added the conjunction. That, and I have written the exact word, the exact reported speech in the indirect speech. Are you getting my point? So this is the first rule where we have come to know that if the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, then the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. Here the verb will not change. Okay, see, is remaining the same. So we are writing the exact reported speech in the indirect speech too. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's see the another example here. Ashok will say dinner is ready. Since there is will, so we have come to know that this is in future tense. Yes or no? Ashok will say dinner is ready. Just simple. So here the reported speech verb will not change. Ashok will say that dinner is ready. Ashok will say that dinner is ready. Simple. Just I have added the conjunction that and I have written the exact reported speech just in the indirect speech. I hope this is clear. Okay. So before moving to the second rule, I would like to clarify something. There is just I will write here. Whenever you are converting a sentence which is in direct speech, to indirect speech, in this process, in the maximum of the cases, what you are doing is you are always converting the tense from present to past. Remember this. In the maximum of the cases, whenever you are converting a sentence in direct speech to indirect speech, in this case what you are doing is you are in the maximum of the cases you are converting a verb which is in present tense into past tense. समझ में आ रहा है ना? Present tense into past tense. Okay, you need to remember this. Okay, so whenever you are converting a sentence from direct to indirect, you are in the maximum of the cases you are converting a verb which is in present tense into past tense. Okay, remember this and we will move here again. So here we have come to know about the first rule of changing direct speech into indirect, and we have come to know that if the reporting verb is in present or future tense, then the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. That means we write the exact word, but we add the conjunction that. Okay, so you might have seen here. So whenever I am writing this particular sentence into indirect speech, I have added that this is our conjunction. Here also I have used that and I have written exact the reported speech in the indirect speech also. Okay, I hope this is very clear to everybody. Okay, now let's move to the another rule. The second rule says that if the reporting verb is in past tense, okay, if the reporting verb is in past tense, the verb in the reported speech is also changed to the past tense. If the reporting verb is in past tense, the verb in the reported speech is also changed to past tense. See, this rule is little big. Okay, so if you want to understand this rule very clearly, you have to remember the following things which I have given here. So I will just make you understand, but before this we will just try to understand this. If the reporting verb is in past tense, the reported speech is also changed to the past tense. That means let me give you an example. Where is the example? Let me take an example. Where are the example? Here. Just see. In the direct speech, Pinky said Kamla walks hurt. In this particular sentence, which one is the reporting verb? This is our reporting verb. Yes or no? So say say, said, said. Present tense, past tense and past participle. Say, said, said. That means whenever the reporting verb is in past tense, whenever, just see here, if the reporting verb is in the past tense, the verb in the reported speech is also changed to the past tense. What you need to remember is, whenever the reporting verb is past tense, that means said, said is past tense, so then the reported speech, Kamla works very hard, this is in present tense or not? Yes. So whenever you are converting this sentence into indirect speech, in that case what you will do is, the verb of the reported speech will also change to, the verb of the reported speech will also change to past tense. You have got the point? I'm revising it again, okay? I'm telling you again, so just listen to it. Whenever the reporting verb is in past tense, that means whenever there is said in the sentence in direct speech, then the verb in the reported speech, here this is our reported speech, so here the verb is in the present tense and it will change into past tense. That means whenever the reported speech, whenever the reporting verb is in past tense, then the verb in the reported speech will also get converted into past tense while converting into indirect speech. I hope this is clear. Okay, easy peasy. Let me rub this. Let me rub this. Okay, so here let us understand this point again. If the reporting verb is in the past tense and the verb in the reported speech is also changed to the past tense. I hope this is very clear. Now this rule is little broad, so as to understand this rule you have to understand these following things, or you can just think this as tips from my side. Okay, you have to remember this. Simple present, that means these particular tips are for the reported speech. These particular tips are for reported. These particular tips are for reported speech. Okay. Simple present, if the sentence in the reported speech is in simple present, if the sentence in the reported speech is in simple present, then that will convert into simple past. You have to remember this. Let's say this example. Pinky said Kamla works very hard. So this is a sentence which is in simple present. Yes or no? Now whenever you are converting this particular sentence into indirect speech, then the sentence which is in simple present will get converted into simple past. Okay, so in this way you have to remember. So simple present will get converted into simple past, and present continuous will get converted into past tense. Present perfect will get converted into past perfect, and simple past will, sometimes the reported speech might also be in past tense also, simple past. So in that case, whenever the sentence in the reported speech is in simple past, then that particular sentence will get converted into past perfect tense. And if the sentence is in past continuous tense, then it will get converted into past perfect continuous tense. Remember this, past perfect continuous tense. And if the sentence has may, then the may will get converted into might in the indirect speech. And if the sentence has can, then can will get converted into could. And if the sentence has shall will get converted into should. And if the sentence has will get converted into would. So what you need to do is just pause the video over here, write down in your copy as your notes, and you have to revise this, because these are like formulas which you need to revise, and you have to repeat it so as to understand or so as to memorize it. So you have to note this down. simple present will convert into simple past, and present continuous will convert into past continuous, present perfect will convert into past perfect, simple past will get convert into past perfect, and past continuous will convert into past perfect continuous, and may will get convert into might, can will get convert into could, shall will get convert into should, and we will get convert into would. So you have to remember this, and these all tips are for reported speech. You need to remember this also. All these rules are for the reported speech part. Okay, and other let's see examples. The first example, simple present to simple past. So this one I have just explained earlier. Okay, even though we will just see over here, simple present will get converted into simple past. Direct, Pinky said Kamala works very hard. So this is a sentence which is in direct speech. Pinky said Kamala works very hard. Now we need to convert this. So before converting this, let us find out. The reporting verb is said, which is a past tense. So as for the second rule, whenever the reporting verb is in past tense, then the reported speech will also get converted into past tense. The verb in the reported speech will also get converted into past tense. We know this rule, yes or no? The second rule. So now let's see, in the indirect speech, Pinky said that. So this is our rule. So we have to add a conjunction whenever we are converting a sentence from direct to indirect. Pinky said that Kamala. So now since we have to change the verb from present to past, so what we will do is Pinky said that, and we have come to know from this tip that simple present will always get converted into simple past. So what we will do, we will just change the verb. Kamala worked very hard. So now see, subject plus verb 2 plus object, subject plus verb 2 plus object. So this is a simple past, yes or no? The formation of simple past is subject plus verb 2 plus object. So this was the formation of simple past, and here just see, Kamala is the subject, work is verb 1, and the rest is object. So this is in simple present tense. Okay, so I hope this is very clear to everybody. Okay, now let's move to the another rule, that is, whenever a sentence is given in present continuous tense, then that particular sentence will get converted into past continuous tense. So you have to remember this. So this is the second tip, which one we have to understand with an example. Present continuous will get converted into past continuous tense. Let's see, he said. See, this particular rule are the tips and tricks of our second rule. That means the second rule says that whenever the reporting verb is in past tense, that means so as to use these particular tips and tricks. What you have to remember is that you have to see the sentence if the reporting verb of that particular sentence is in past tense or not. You have to see that. Okay, then only you have to use these tricks. Anyway, he said Anand is working hard. So since this reporting verb is in past tense, so we can use this tip. Anand is working hard. This sentence is in present continuous tense. Subject plus MSR plus verb in ing plus object. So this is in present continuous tense. So whenever such question arises, what you need to do is, whenever the reported speech is in present continuous tense, then the reported speech will get converted into past continuous tense. He said that. So here we have added the conjunction that. Anand is the subject. Since we have to convert this sentence into past continuous tense, so past continuous tense is Anand was working hard. So the formation for past continuous tense is subject plus was, were, plus verb in ing. Yes or no? Verb in ing. So this how you will get, this how you will convert a sentence whose reported speech is in present continuous tense. Now let's move to the another one. Now present perfect will get converted into past perfect. Just you have to remember this, present perfect will get converted into past perfect. See here, Bali has done his work. This is a sentence which is in present perfect. Now Peter said that Bali had done his work. So this is a sentence which is in past perfect. Yes or no? So whenever the sentence is given in present perfect in reported speech, okay, the sentence inside the reported speech or inside the inverted commas will get converted into past perfect, and the rest is the same. Peter said that, you have to use this. Let's move to the another one. Simple past will get converted into past perfect. So here simple past, just see here, Raman returned at noon. So this is a sentence which is in simple past. So while converting this type of sentences into indirect speech, what you need to do is, Bali said that Raman had returned at noon. So this is a sentence which is in past perfect tense. Clear? Okay, let's move to the another one. Past continuous will get converted into past perfect continuous. Okay, Jack said all the boys were singing. So this is a sentence which is in past continuous. So this will get converted into past perfect continuous. Jack said that all the boys had been singing. This is the subject, had been singing. So this how you will do. Okay, Jack said that all the boys had been singing. Now if a sentence has may, it will get converted into might. Just see the example. He said the boy may pass. He said that the boy might pass. And if the sentence has can, then this will get converted into could. I said I can do the sum. I said that I could do the sum. So simple. You just have to remember those tips and tricks. Let's have some revision over here. Just you have to remember this part. Simple present will get converted into simple past. Present continuous will get converted into past continuous. Present perfect will get converted into past perfect. Simple past will get converted into past perfect. Past continuous will get converted into past perfect continuous, and may will get converted into might, can will get converted into could. So you have to remember this. Okay. Now let's see this. Whenever a sentence has shall, the teacher said Ashok will not pass. So there is will in the sentence, so will get converted into would. The teacher said that Ashok would not pass. So simple. Similarly, if there is shall in the sentence, I said I shall try to help her. So I said that I should try to help her. I said I shall try to help her. In the indirect speech, this is in the indirect speech, this is also in the indirect speech. So in the indirect speech, what you need to do is you just need to convert shall into should and will into would. I said that I should try to help her. Okay. So this is how you have to solve those questions. Now rule 3. This is very important, and this rule is a bit of an exception of rule 2. If the reported speech contains some universal or habitual facts, if the reported speech contains some universal or habitual facts, then the simple present in the reported speech is not changed into corresponding simple past but remains unchanged. This is very important. Just see in the example. The teacher said the reporting verb is in past tense, so we have to use the exact rule that we are in the rule number 2. That means whenever the reporting verb is in past tense, then the reported speech is also changed into past tense. So that was the rule in the second rule was that, yes or no? But although this is similar, the example is similar to the rule number 2, but honesty is the best policy is a quotation or a universal truth. So these are the words which are being used as a quotation. Yes or no? Universal truth. Honesty is the best policy. The earth moves around the sun. These are some habitual facts which does not change. These are the same. The earth moves around the sun. This is a habitual fact, and honesty is the best policy. Universal truth. Yes or no? We follow these rules. Okay. So now, when the sentence reporting verb is in past tense, but the reported speech is a universal truth or an habitual fact, then in that case what you need to remember is that there is no change in the verb while converting that sentence into indirect speech. Okay, just see here. This is the indirect speech of the above sentence. The teacher said honesty is the best policy. What you need to do is, although the reporting verb is in past tense, but the reported speech is a universal truth. So what you need to do is, you need not change the verb of that reported speech. The teacher said that honesty is the best policy. You just write in this way. Okay, but as per the rule number 2, some of you guys might do this, that honesty was the best policy, because this is a simple present tense. So simple present tense is converted into simple past. Yes or no? That was rule number 2. But whenever the reported speech is an habitual or universal facts, then what you need to do is, you need not change the verb. Okay, now let's see the next example. He said the earth moves around the sun. This is a habitual fact. The earth always moves around the sun. He said that the earth moves around the sun. He said that the earth moves around the sun. So here also I have not changed the verb, since this is in simple present tense. As per the rule number 2, we have to convert this into simple past, but since this is an habitual fact, so we have not converted the verb in any form. Just we have kept the same. The earth moves around the sun. The earth moves around the sun. This was rule number 3. So whenever you remember rule number 2, you also remember rule number 3 with that. Okay, because this is an exception of rule number 2. The sentences are same as it was in the rule number 2, but the reported speeches are a bit different, because in this case the reported speech are universal or habitual facts. Okay, so that was rule number 3. So I hope rule number 1, rule number 2 and rule number 3 of changing a sentence from direct to indirect speech is clear to everybody, and do revise this and have your notes written and write down all the facts, tips and tricks of the video. And I will see you in the next video, where we will discuss rule number 4, 5, 6, 7, and slowly you will be able to understand direct speech and indirect speech very clearly. And after completing all the videos of this series, you will be able to solve all the problems related to direct and indirect speech. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.